Yo, podcast land. Long time no talk. Even though it's been like a few hours, I think. But anyways, yeah. Episode number 124 of this thing we call the podcast is brought to you by Silence and Solitude. Based out of Southern New Jersey, Silence and Solitude is a metalcore quintet that consists of Shane Roxas, Colby Hempel, Cody Mitchell, Alexander Coates, and Justin Pomper. The band formed in early 2015 and made their debut in September of the following year, 2016, having spent the previous year writing and recording. That led to their debut album, Resurgence, which came out of December of last year, 2016, and it debuted at number 20 on the iTunes Metal charts. Since then, they have released music videos for their singles Suffering, Deceiver, and for their cover of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm flat. Deal with it. New Transcendence says that Resurgence is a must-listen to for 2016 without a doubt, especially for fans of metal and its subgenres. If you're looking for something that is emotionally powerful, but not too whiny, aggressive, but not hate-filled, and will stand the test of time, this is the album you've been searching for. For more information, visit www.silenceandsolitude.com. Episode number 124 also brought to you by 627. So imagine the Foo Fighters and Muse stuffed in an underground studio during the nuclear holocaust with nothing but Weezer and Radiohead albums to session. You don't have to imagine, you have 627, delivering the attitude of an underdog and the punch of a champion. 627's chunky guitar riffs, charismatic vocals, and emotional solos are the most beautiful ass-whipping your ears will have ever taken. For more information, hit up dub7records.com. That's DUB, the number 7, records.com, and like them on Facebook, facebook.com/SIXTWOSEVEN, and then the numbers 627. So 627, 627. And that's about it. Right now we have Tiffany speaking with Head Ned of the Nedal band, Okilly Dokilly. So if you're a fan of The Simpsons and have been living under a rock, Okilly Dokilly consists of 5 members. They all dress up as Ned Flanders, and they have songs specific to quotes of Ned Flanders. It is the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my life. But goddamn, is that taking off. It is getting more popular by the day. And we got the lead singer. We have Mr. Head Ned on the show. Tiffany speaks with him, and it starts right now. From out of the wasteland of generic podcasts and radio shows, one has emerged. It prides itself on having conversations with the most talented musicians from all over the world. If you like a boring question and answer interview, this isn't for you. If you want deep conversations about anything and everything, you've come to the right place. Your new favorite show starts now, and its name is Behind the Barricade.
Still there?
Yep, still here.
Okay, so I am so sorry about that. I've been prepared all day, and then I'm running into the door, didn't realize what time it was, get upstairs, and my door is locked. It's just been one thing after another today.
Oh, no.
So, how you liking the heat?
It's not so bad. I'm used to it, God. And it's definitely been a lot hotter.
Yeah, you're in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm from, so I'm used to it.
I can't even imagine how hot it is up there.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Where are you located?
I'm in Baltimore.
Baltimore. Awesome.
Yeah, it's like 103 right now.
Ooh. It's like humid over there, too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I'm going to get started. Hey, what's up? This is Tiffany from Behind the Barricade. I have a special episode for you today. I have Head Ned from the band Okilly Dokilly. What's up?
Howdly doodly.
Howdly doodly.
Howdly doodly.
How is your day?
Not much. How you doing? Good. Just got home from a 7-week-long tour, so kind of soaking in the heat, soaking in the couch, and getting ready. We're going back on tour in a couple weeks, so
Where are you going
taking it in while I can. So our next tour is the Death to False Nedal tour. We kind of routed it. We got an offer to play a show associated with the Montreal Comic-Con.
Wow.
So we're trekking pretty much up across the country. We're starting in Oklahoma City, heading up to the Northeast, playing in Montreal, and then playing a couple shows on our way back down.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's been a crazy ride so far, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely, and entirely.
I've watched, I don't even know how many interviews that you guys have done so far since the beginning, and since you guys have started touring and selling out shows and everything. And, you have told the story about how this all happened. Tell me something about the band and everything that's going on that hasn't been asked yet. Like, first of all, how did you decide on who got what name?
Oh, the names was an interesting thing. That was when we first decided to do the Ned things. Most of our sense of humor is an enormous compass with this band, and so we just thought it would be funny if we were all named Ned, but that would get difficult to differentiate the members. So we're like, well, let's do just goofy names. And so I had mine first, Head Ned, and then we started realizing, like, oh, what if we just added the extra challenge of making them all rhyme with Ned?
Which is genius.
Yeah, from there, we were all kind of coming up with different names and whatnot. And, we had the names for all of our members. Our bassist and our guitarist, our original ones, they were Stead Ned and Thread Ned. And they couldn't tour, so then we had to come up with two more. Each Ned name kind of relates to something. Red Ned's the more obvious one. He's our red-headed Ned. Blood Ned, our drummer, he drums really hard, and so he often wears his hands down and bleeds a lot while he drums. So
okay,
that's where his name comes from. Original guitarist Stead Ned was our rhythm guitarist, so he was the steady rhythm of the guitar, and Thread Ned, our bassist, was outside of the band dressed very well. He was the most well dressed, which is where the Thread Ned name came from. And we thought it was quite funny that we did that because in the band we all dress exactly the same, so we just kept the thing that he's the most well dressed, despite wearing the same thing as everyone else. Our new. I was going to say our new guitarist, Dead Ned, was actually he was the extra in our music video who we had buried and left in the desert. So Dead Ned fit well for him. And then Cred Ned, our new bassist, is probably one of the most honest guys that I've met. So that his credibility is what gave him the Cred Ned name.
Are they going to be permanent? Are they permanent now?
Yeah, no, they're permanent members. Our other guys were unfortunately unable to tour. We note that the left-handed conversion therapy kind of drove them a little bit crazy, so we had to check them into the Calmwood Mental Hospital, and so that's where they reside currently.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Cred Ned and Dead Ned are now new permanent members of the band.
Sweet. So, Okilly Dokilly, were there any other contender names that you guys, threw out there before you settled on Okilly Dokilly?
For the idea of this band, the whole idea actually came from the name.
Oh,
so when we were coming up with those goofy names and stuff we were trying to think of a heavy metal band with goofy names. I don't remember any of the other names that out there, but when we hit Okilly Dokilly from there, we thought, well, what if the lead singer dressed like Ned Flanders? And then we thought, well, what if everybody in the band dressed like Ned Flanders? So yeah, the name was the core point of the whole idea. So now we didn't have anything other than that.
I was going to ask that question too, as far as dressing like Ned Flanders. Was it did you just decide just have Head Ned dressed as Ned Flanders, and then the rest dressing something different. But it was a great idea for all of you to dress like Ned.
Oh, thank you.
That's
yeah, no,
awesome.
we had kicked around the idea of each person doing a different character, but it was just like to us that we thought it would be funnier if the band was so dedicated to just this singular character. So that's what drove us to all be Ned Flanders.
I was really amazed when I heard that you guys you didn't really think that it was going to take off. You thought that it was, pretty much just going to be like, nobody's even going to pay attention. They're going to think we're a joke. And when I heard the music, when I first heard the music, first just looking at you guys, I'm like, okay, so I'm like Nedal. So has to be metal. And then I heard, I think the first song I heard was White Wine Spritzer. And I heard it, I was like, this is insane. Like, you guys sound so good. If nobody were to even see what you look like, I would think you were like at a Summer Slaughter show.
Oh.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You guys you're great. So
thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
It's just been fun.
The video
it's been super fun.
Just made me crack up. I was laughing so hard I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, that's a fun song. It's all based off of kind of a newer season, like close in a newer season. But yeah, that one. There's a goofy little song, and we like the pauses are placed strangely in there, and that lends to it, and it gets requested a lot live, which is fun. It's a fun one to play live.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you guys, outside of, off stage and when you're home, do you guys go by your stage names? Do you like call each other and say, hey, Dad, or hey, Cred, or you go by your regular names?
No, we usually just go by our regular names at home, but that's been an interesting thing to develop, is to, not shout somebody's real name when you're trying to get their attention. But we've gotten good at that. We're really good at that. And I mean, occasionally, most of the time we just call each other jerks, so it works out well. Like, hey, jerk, can you move your backpack? Or hey, jerk, move it out of the way. So
do they all turn around?
We're not too worried.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, which one?
Which jerk? Which jerk you talking about?
Yeah.
Are any of you married? And what are your wives?
Yes, our funny enough, our drummer is married. That's the reason that he doesn't have the mustache, that he has the full beard. His wife won't let him get rid of the beard, which is funny. It's different most of the time, and I guess it just depends on preference and stuff. But yeah, she won't let him get rid of it. So we just call it extended mustache.
Right.
Yeah, he's married. Yeah, I've been engaged for a couple months now. I know all the other band members have significant others and things. But yeah, our drummer's the only one who is actually married.
Oh, okay. That's cool. You guys bring them on tour with you?
No, we're not able to, unfortunately. Little tiny van, we're all crammed in there.
Oh, soon that'll change. The way you guys are going, you guys will have a huge tour bus soon, so.
Oh, maybe. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, we've got enough space in the van to get around and stuff. We're thankful for that too. Not having to tour in a pickup truck or something, but yeah.
Right.
Hopefully.
So how do you pick what Ned quote you're going to use?
That's usually I kind of go by one of two things, whether it's a goofy quote that would sound, funny if it was said angrily or screamed, or if it's something that could be taken out of context and sound very dark, like you couldn't even tell it was a Ned Flanders quote. So those are kind of the two qualifications that I have for it. Like one of the new songs we're working on is called They Warned Me, and Ned Flanders says jokingly in the show, or no, sorry, not They Warned Me, it's already an existing song. This song's called The Last Thing. And he says, the last thing I bought for a woman was a coffin, which out of context is a really, really brutal thing to say, but he just says it as a joke in the show. So that stuff like that kind of lands as part of songs. And yeah, like the song They Warned Me, that's when he's in Canada and he's offered weed by one of the Canadian citizens, and he says, you know, they warned me that Satan would be attractive, and so we just turned that into a metal song.
Sweet. That's really sweet. Wow. That's really sweet. So what's been the craziest thing that's happened to you guys so far, like at an actual show?
Oh, geez. Unexpected. We've had a couple instances where like people will buy us white wine spritzers and things when we played there. We just some of the shows where there's tons and tons of people there. We played in Canton, Ohio, I think on a Wednesday night, and it was nearly sold out, and everyone was just going crazy. Beer was flying everywhere and whatnot. It was like Ned Flanders is a pretty tame character, and the show was like the exact opposite of that. We were touring with a band called Beatallica, and we'd play a little Beatles cover, and Beatallica would come out and crash our set during the Beatles cover, and Beatallica came out and was like pouring beers on people. There's like somebody got thrown like into the monitor, which dumped all over like a bunch of gear up front, and we had to like reset everything. So yeah, that show in Canton. We had a show in up in Canada in Calgary, and we'd never been that far north before. We had no idea how many people would be there, and that show nearly sold out as well. There's two other big metal shows nearby, and so they pushed us late to kind of draw that in. And it was crazy to see up in Canada in this like little basement that we had played there, so many people go so crazy over it.
That's
stuff
cool.
like that.
That's
I think.
Cool.
Yeah, our very last show on this tour, our synth players, his keyboard stand, a leg broke off of it, so he had to play the whole show with it just standing on like a leg and a half.
Oh my God! Wow! What?
Yeah, so it was funny, but he was able to make it work. He flips that thing up in the air and like puts his full body weight on it and everything. So I'm really not surprised that he broke it.
That's crazy. I know you just never know what's going to happen. Have you seen, like, the fans in the audience dressing like you guys? What's the craziest thing you've, like, seen them wear? Like, do they come just, like, completely dressed up like Ned?
We have had a couple bonus Neds. We always, like, try and get pictures with them. That one's, like, maybe on average, like, you'll have one or two people a show come out dressed as Ned. We've had a couple, like, somebody dressed as Max Power. I think one of the craziest ones was somebody came dressed as Maud, but it was Zombie Maud, and she had a bunch of like T-shirt cannon bullet holes, like T-shirts that were like wedged into her, and it was like all bloody, like because this Maud had been killed by a T-shirt cannon. It knocked her off the bleachers. So Zombie Maud was probably the craziest, most in-depth costume we've seen. There was an Angel Mod as well that was really good. And then a couple really good Neds, a few Homers, a Rod and Todd. Like it's been great. I'm still waiting for like an Otto or a Bumblebee guy or something like that. We had a comic book guy too. That guy was way into it. So yeah.
That's
a lot of really, really great costumes, but Zombie Mod I think was the most in depth. All of the like blood makeup and stuff was great.
That is crazy. Get ready, because normally you'll catch up with some fans that have already tattooed themselves and with Okilly Dokilly and pictures of you guys, just like portraits, and you just see some really wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We've I really like being on the front line of so many Simpsons fans. I think I've seen probably some of the coolest Simpsons T-shirts and Simpsons tattoos from across the nation. Without having to go on the internet and search them, there's probably a BuzzFeed article or something that has all that stuff, but I've got to see them firsthand, and that's been a really neat aspect of this.
Yeah. All right, so say Matt Cronin asked you to come on the show, for the band to be on the show, and the scene is that you're playing at Moe's as the band, and Ned Flanders walks in, and he's going to do a guest spot on the show. What song would you allow Ned Flanders to sing with you on stage on the episode?
Ooh, there's quite a few good ones. I think if he's at Moe's, White Wine Spritzer would be a really fitting one.
Perfect.
Just because of the alcohol there and everything. I think that one would be great. That More Animal Than Flan would be a good one. It's got a little guitar solo in it. That one also, contains a reference to alcohol. It's about Ned when he had his last blackberry schnapps. White Wine Spritzer, More Animal Than Flan. And I guess all of them, too, if he wanted to. Really, they're his words, so if Ned Flanders wanted to sing some Okilly Dokilly songs, I can't really say no.
Right,
you got the Ned sweater on and the mustache and you know the words, then that's all it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if Okilly Dokilly was given the chance to be president for one day, what would be the band's first order of business?
First order of business would likely be no footlongs. Those would be outlawed as they make Ned Flanders uncomfortable.
That's great. That is great.
That's probably best one. That, and then we'd shut down the post office because Ned Flanders hates the post office.
Oh, goodness gracious. That is so funny. Okay. What kind of bands do you guys listen to?
What kind of bands?
Personally. What kind of music influenced you?
It's all over the board. As far as some of the stuff that's actually closer to what we play, I listened to, I guess, a lot of Thrice and a band called August Burns Red and old Motorhead.
One of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, those guys are so good. And there's a weird, crazy Japanese band called Maximum the Hormone that bounces between some of the heaviest stuff you'll ever hear, and then just straight up J-pop, it's really poppy, catchy, crazy stuff. We have no idea what they're saying. It's all in Japanese, but me and my drummer would throw that stuff on as loud as we could and then clean our entire house because there's that much
really?
energy in the music.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so amazing. And then as far as some of the other band members, I know we've got a lot of big Devo fans in the band, which is way different. I listen to a lot of quiet folk stuff. Johnny Flynn, he's good friends with the guys from Mumford and Sons. Mm-hmm. So kind of along those veins. And then a lot of we'll throw on while we're driving a lot of instrumental tracks and things. I've been a big fan of Animals as Leaders, which is all super crazy instrumental technical stuff. And it's just all over the board. I kind of live by my Spotify Discover Weekly list, so usually it's the new bands that I'm kind of digging through every week or so.
So, Okilly Dokilly is out now. How is that? Just when it came out, it just took everybody for a loop. Everybody loves it. Just people, it's just insane. It's just insane. I love the whole album. What are you guys working on now?
Right now? Yeah, we've got some new songs in the works. We've got one of the new ones that we've been playing at shows is called Murdiddly-Erdler. It's based off a great episode where Bart thinks that Flanders is a murderer. He's actually just killed Maud's ficus plant, but that's one of the things he shouts is like he is that he is a Murdiddly-Erdler because he killed her plant. That one, a song called Re-Education. There's a good bit that's somewhat well known where I think Marge had heard a scream, like a girl screaming, and it was just Ned Flanders screaming at a pair of purple drapes. So we have this like crazy thrash song called Purple Drapes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got some new stuff, and then we're going to be working on some more in the break and after the tour, and start up, as a joke I've been calling our next album Hadley Toodly.
Hadley Toodly?
So, yeah, that's like our working title for it now. I doubt it'll be called that, but, that's just what I've been calling it until we have a name for it. But, yeah, that's everything on the horizon for us as far as new material.
I had been watching, I cannot remember for the life of me what I was watching. I was watching something, and they were saying, oh, it was an interview you guys did, and they were talking about rubies. And I don't know, it's just something, I was like, you know how people get together, fan clubs, bands have fan clubs and stuff, and I was thinking, it just came up into my head, just like names of groupie girls and stuff like that, and Nedal Chicks, yeah. I thought was really cool, like the Nedal Chicks. It's just so cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know how they have like a lot of metal chicks. There's like hashtag metal chicks, hashtag Nedal Chicks. It's the Okilly Dokilly groupies.
Yeah.
It was so
probably
funny.
Just, anyone coming to the show dressed like as Maud or dressed like, very conservatively.
Yeah. Nedal Chicks.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Dude, thank you so much. I've never laughed so much in my life on an interview. It was such a pleasure-rino talking to you.
Absolutely doodly.
I'll be looking for new stuff. I'm going to catch you guys the next time you guys are around here, for sure.
All right, perfect.
Definitely got to catch up with you guys sometime soon. But thank you.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, man. See you later.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.